Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Bee Swarm Gaming. All right, so I got a couple things to talk about. The first thing is that I am close, or maybe even closer, to completing the 10th quest for the Mythic quest to get the Mythic egg of Black Bear. I didn't think that it was going to be this fast, but killing the stump snail has allowed me to get that pollen from the 10th mission. Also, killing the snail has allowed me to get that pollen a lot faster. Also, I have gotten some metals which have allowed me to get pollen faster. Plus, I have upgraded equipment which has allowed me to get pollen faster. So a lot of the things that I did not anticipate since I made that video have allowed me to get pollen faster. And when I looked over the stuff that I need to get, things that I originally thought would be hard, such as gathering 50 million pollen from each field, actually is going by pretty fast. And then getting the billion looks hard, but I got purple potion, and since it's red and blue, I can get that from the mountaintop, and I can do some fast farming. So this is what I'm doing. I'm looking at the number of views and the comments, and it's not going as fast as I want. So I'm going to reduce it even more. It was 200. Okay, it was 200. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll cut it by half, like 100. Then I thought, I'm going to cut it down half again. So this is 50. So now it's 50. If I get 50 views and 50 comments. Has to be from different people though, 50 comments. We're talking like a free Robux gift card. Come on now. I mean, if you have a pretty good hive, this will make it better. If you don't have a good hive, this will make it better. So regardless of what you have, this will do you good. If you like sprout parties, buy some sprouts, right? If you need an egg, this will get you an egg. If you need tickets, this will get you some tickets. It won't make your account OP, but it'll do something for your account. So it's 50. I mean, that's pretty good. You probably won't see this deal ever again. It's 50. Tell people. Tell people. Say, look, go on to Bee Swarm Gaming. Go on to Bee Swarm Master 1. That's what you have to search. Watch the video. Hit a like. Put a comment down. Make a guess on what the mythic egg is going to be. It will then make me pick a winner, right? It may be you, it may not be you, but at least it allows me to start the process of giving out gift cards. Some of you may think, oh, this is not real, this is just a scam. It's not a scam. It's not a scam. Someone's going to get a gift card if I get 50 comments. I just want to know that people are watching this. I love making these videos. I mean, I think my videos or my private server is catching on because I actually tried to get on this morning and it said that the server was full. Now, I'm guessing some people were AFK, so they were on the whole night or since this morning. But that's so cool, though. It means that they're on this server doing AFK, then some other server doing AFK. So it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. So I'm on the last mission for Mythic Bear. I'm going to get that Mythic egg, and I really don't care. If I get a tadpole, that's 3 frogs jumping around. And they do a lot of bubbles. And the bubbles, they pop, they pollinate. It's all good. Spicy, I get a second spicy. That's all good. I get a fuzzy. That's my second fuzzy. And that's all good. Even all the way down to our 4th favorite, which most people will say is a vector. But that's all good. Now, as you probably noticed, there's a couple hives much bigger than mine. I'm still at 38. But the majority, I believe, are gifted, especially the ones that are going to help me out. Let's get the words out of the way. The 2 bees that are helping me right now is Tabby Bee, but we're not going to talk about Tabby Bee. We're going to talk about Puppy Bee. Why? Because Puppy Bee is the focus of the play right now. Remember how I always say, play in your lane. Play in your lane. I'm still a noob, but I'm in the higher end of the noob. Now, this is just my definition. You can put your own definition on your play, right? Now, as you can see to the person to the side of me, this is Tomahawk Dragon. He has like 42 bees, I believe. And as you see, I don't think there's anything under 9. So you see 10, 11, and I believe he's probably going to do 11s, and then maybe a 12 here or there. And as you can see, there's yellow popping up. There's yellows popping up, and he's going to get some more gifted ones. I'm looking at his hive, and it's pretty nice. In fact, it's more than pretty nice. It's well-rounded. It's well-rounded. I see a lot more blue than my other one. Few red, so I think he's going with a blue hive. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that's just my guess. I'm still going after a red hive, but with the tadpoles, it makes me go with a fire and water type of thing. Okay, so I said that I was going to talk about Puppy Bee. Now, I was doing some math. I know, math while playing games. All right, don't make fun of me on that. Now, this is how we have to look at Puppy Bee, because in Bee Swarm, it's not like many other RPG type of games or role-playing games. There is a huge jump from one level to another level. Now, let me give you an example. To go from 9 to a 10, so let's pull up a 9. A 9 Rage Bee. Now, it doesn't matter if it's gifted or not. The bond is still the same. It's 450,000. That means once you reach 450,000 or 450,001, it goes to a level 10. That stays the same. If you're doing regular treats without the Puppy Bee, you need 450 million honey. Okay, now that's going to be different than pollen, because pollen conversion to honey is going to be different. It's going to be based on whatever your stats are. But in honey, you're going to need 450 million. That actually isn't a lot once you get to this stage of being a upper noob, middle. I don't want to even go to like the higher end. I just want to stay in my lane of play. So 450,000. You need 450 million. Now with the Puppy Bee, it reduces it to 375 million. That's the honey that you need to buy the amount of treats to move it up to a 10. Okay, now we go to a 10, and the bond is now 1.2 million. So now you need to get to 1.2 million and 1 to get to the next level. So what does that mean? You need to get, without the Puppy Bee, 1.2 billion honey money. Okay? With the Puppy Bee, you need 1 billion in treats. So you see how from a 9 to a 10, it's 375 million. When you're at a 10 and you want to level up, it's 1 billion. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. Now, it's not just the Puppy Bee, but also regular too. It goes from 450 million to 1.2 billion. But you start seeing how the Puppy Bee, even though some people are saying it's more of an end game, I see it more as a noob middle to a noob end, because it should be started around level 8. Even with the Mother Bear quest, it should be started at level 8, because you're not pollinating as fast, so you want to take whatever you can get and say, I'm going to start moving things up. Now here's where things start to really pick up. Now let's say you are trying to get all your bees to level 10. You can do 1.2 billion. You're like, I have the Puppy Bee, but I don't want to necessarily gift them yet. Now you have to understand, it's never going to be 1.2 billion all the time, because you're pollinating, you're fighting mods. So it's always going to be something like this. There's always going to be some pink in there, right? Well, that's more of an example. Let's find one that has like low. So there's always going to be something in there, right? So it's never going to be 1.2 billion honey that you're going to need to buy in treats. But I always buy treats in increments of like 1 billion. So I have 1 billion honey money. I go there and I buy treats. Even with the puppy bee gifted, that's when the gift kicks in. Okay, that's when the gift kicks in. Now, with the puppy bee, if we look at his gift, and this is something that needs to be interpreted very carefully, because it doesn't look good at first, but when you think about it, gifted high bonus, plus 20% bond from treats. So what that means is, now treats isn't just the star treat, it could be, their favorite fruit. Like Fuzzy likes pineapples, Lion likes pineapples, and then Ninja Bee likes blueberries, and then Rage Bee likes strawberries, so on and so on, right? So whatever they like, you get 20% more, right? So we're just going to stick with star treats. Star treats is 10, right? It's 10. So 10 plus 20% is 12. So that means that every star treat now is worth 12. Okay? Every star treat now is worth 12 versus 10. So that's kind of where I'm getting these numbers. Now let's say you want to get to 12. 12 is a magic number for me because of snail. 12 is the magic number because 12 can kill every mod out there. Okay? 12 is what makes a upper noob, because one part of being a noob is being able to kill every mod efficiently. That's what it is, efficiently. I don't want to see any white, which means miss, on any monster. So if I can get a whole hive to 12, that's playing in the lane of being a noob. I completed one part, which is never missing. Okay, now that's going to be very difficult for a hive of 38, but it's possible to get certain bees to that point. Now, obviously, you don't want to start off with getting a puppy bee to a level 12, because, yes, that'd be great, but you don't need to. Now, my first level 12 was the vicious bee. Why? Because the vicious bee has major attack that can get up to, at level 12, over 1,000, but less than like 3,000, right? There's no other bee in here that's going to get that major source of attack. It's not going to have that source of burst attack. There's no other bee that has that. Okay, the closest thing would be the tadpole bee, because the frog comes out and it takes its base attack and it times it by 10. But the frog is a random monster, so you can't even count on that, and that's the closest thing. So that's why your first 12 should be the vicious bee. So let's talk about that. Let's go from a 11 to a 12. Here's the big jump, 11 to a 12. Now we're talking about just in treats without the puppy bee, 2 billion. You need 2 billion honey money. Okay? You need 2 billion honey money to level 111 up to a 12. With the puppy bee, it's 1.67, or 1 2/3 billion. Okay, to get 111 level up to a 12. Now, of course, it's never going to be that much, but that's what you should be thinking. Is, okay, I'm close to 2 billion. I can level up a 11 to a 12. That's what you should be thinking. Anytime you have an 11, this is what I want to do. Now, I was able to save up 2 billion, so that's like 200,000. But just think about, every billion is like 100,000, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, all right, so what bee could I have to fight the snail? Because remember, that's my goal, is what bee can I use to fight the snail? And if you can fight the snail without any misses, it's going to do it for every other monster, right? Now there's two. There's two that really stick out. The lion and the photon. Reason for that is the lion, with high enough energy, will stay under there, and it has the highest hit points without burst damage, right? The photon bee is because it has unlimited energy, so it'll stay under there the entire time. Now, of course, you get to a point where you're like sub 2 minutes, or you're sub 10 minutes, and you're not fighting for that long. But to do that, obviously, your bees are above 10 minutes, right? Something you also have to consider is, well, what happens if my bees are below 12 minutes? Now, here's the thing with that. If your bee is at a level 11, you're going to miss 50% of the time. If your bees are at a level 10, your bees are going to miss 66% of the time. The level of the bees counts a lot. Counts a lot. That's why having a hive of just 10s and you're fighting vicious bee, that's great, but you're fighting with a lot of bees. And the reason that you have a good time is because they have higher energy, there's a lot of bees, and you've picked and chosen which bees you want, and they should be gifted. A good number of them should be gifted. So you're a better player, you're playing in your lane, but imagine if you had selected certain ones, like 5 or 6, and said, I'm going to make those 12s. I think your time would be reduced by at least 5 minutes. 5 minutes, just because of the fact that they're going to consistently hit. So I've looked at this whole hive and I said, okay, so which ones do I want to be there? Now my time, I believe, is 16 minutes. Before that, it was like 22 minutes. I got the guards. I did the vicious bee to 12, and it dropped like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So those are the two things that I attribute to. No special mask, nothing else, no other gifted special bees, and just by those, I was able to drop it. Now someone may say, well, it's the guards. No, I think it was Vicious Bee, because Vicious Bee hit it all the time, which means that every time one of his tokens came out, that big burst damage hit 100% of the time. So the first thing, get your Vicious Bee up there. Anyway, what I'm going to do when I get either a star treat or I get enough, what do I call them? What do you call them? Well, you're going to see it right here. These treats. So remember, to get from a 11 to a 12, I need 167,000 treats. If it was at 0, which it closely is, I would need 167,000 to get it to a 12. This one's lucky because it has a plus 10% attack. So that's what I'm going to do. This one has 200,000. So we're going to move this. We're going to bring it there. Level up 154,531. Remember when I said that if it was a totally 0, it'd be 167,667. So that's actually pretty close, because it was up. It was up a little bit. All right, so we're gonna level that up. There we go. So now we're gonna look at its stats, so that the gather is up a little bit, and of course it's going to do everything else. And see this? See the bond? It's at 7. This right here now is at 4 million. Now to level this up to 13, I would have to get, with the treats, 3.33 billion. All right, so that's just what I wanted to show you. Is how good the puppy bee is.